And we are back at the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup. Moving along into the grand finals, Cloud9 was able to defeat Impulse 11 in our top side of the bracket. And if you're paying attention to our semifinals, Code7 defeating Luminosity 2-0. Some great Tracer, Widow, and Soldier 76 play just a moment ago on Gibraltar and Dorado.
Yeah, great job by Code7. Really showing they are definitely a top team in North America to contend with. You know, 1 week is maybe you could say a fluke, but now 2 weeks in a row, it is no fluke.
Yeah, I mean, last week, of course, Code7 came very, very close to getting the grand finals. I mean, about as close as you can get in Overwatch. They forced a map number 3, went to the third round of a King of the Hill map in Nepal, and came one pulse bomb away from actually defeating NVS and moving on to the grand finals themselves there. So one of the closest games we've ever seen. So Code7 able to get the revenge this week on Luminosity instead of moving to the grand finals. And now they're going to have their biggest challenge yet, perhaps, in Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great game. I'm not sure how the Cloud9 semifinal went, if it was close or what the maps were or whatnot. I kind of wanted to see what kind of meta and comps they were playing and maps in those semis, but I expect this to be a very solid game. And I would not be surprised to see double Tracer on each side go back and forth, because Surefour and Reaver had both been playing Tracer since pretty much the beginning of the beta, and Surefour especially as a Genji Tracer specialty player, while Weaver plays the Widow and the McCree. I could 100% see that happening throughout this series.
Well, Code7 will definitely have their hands full. I mean, in the match we saw from Cloud9 earlier, Surefour and Reaver were absolutely on point, especially on their hit scan play. They were just absolutely devastating. And Metatron, the team they were up against, couldn't even get out of their base. That's how much they were getting outplayed by that just raw mechanical skill coming out from them. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nicholas and Torque match up against us here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great matchup, especially with how Torque and Nicholas are playing. And I think that's definitely that we got to watch out for. But the support play on both sides has been pretty phenomenal so far.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's easy to not give as much attention to the supports just because they're not always getting all the kills and all the rest. But really, I mean, we see it time and time again. I mean, using, for example, IDDQD as an example, one of the teams, Chipsogen. Really, you look at his games, he's one of the hardest support kills in the entire game. It's because not only does he have great aim as Indiana, but he also positions in such a way that he will make offensive players look foolish. And you have those sorts of players on both these teams in Cloud9 and Code7 as well. So,
yes, very much so.
We are waiting here for the map draft. Code7 is readied up, waiting for Cloud9. While we have a moment, just note that our weekly tournament is brought to you by some great sponsors. Rocket, of course, has been with us since the very beginning, sponsoring Blizzard Esports across a whole ton of different games. But this week for Overwatch, they're one of our sponsors. Yet again, visit them if you need a peripheral for your PC. If it plugs into your PC, there's a good chance they make it. Things like mice, keyboard, mouse pads, all those sorts of stuff. DX Racer, of course, sponsoring us today. They make phenomenal chairs for gaming. I mean, if you're going to be sitting at a desk all day, you might as well get a good chair to go along with it. And in fact, we're giving away a chair. Do ! DX Racer in chat to learn more about our DX Racer chair giveaway. And G2A, where you can go to get great deals on your favorite games, oftentimes buying those games for less than you would in other places. And G2A also running a giveaway in our chat, G2A, for a free copy of Overwatch. And to top things off, we are also partnered with Matcherino, where you can crowdfund and support your favorite teams and players. Any money donated will go directly into the prize pool here. And we're up to, I think, 535, 540, something like that right now. So thanks a whole ton, guys. But Slasher, we are getting into draft.
So let's see.
Bringing up the draft window here. Bans coming out from Cloud9. Cloud9 taking out Lijiang, not want to go there. Temple, Nubis, and Hanamura also going down. Code7, though, being a little bit more strategic, taking out the paleo maps they don't want to go on. Kings Row and Route 66 buying the dust. So sadly, Slasher, that means we won't see Route 66 at all today.
Well, you know what? Code7, through the draft of them playing LG, and so far, I think have been very good in their draft, because instead of taking out Hanamura and Volskaya and Temple, which all of the teams traditionally have done so far, they've actually looked at the draft as trying to ban out the maps that these teams have been practicing the most. and they have definitely been playing Route 66 a lot because, one, most of the players like the map, and two, because it's been a new map, so everyone's been wanting to play it. And then you have things like Kings Row and Hollywood and Gibraltar, which all the teams have been playing on for a while. And as Code7 is a team that's trying to make a name for themselves and really trying to win here, why not ban the maps that the other teams like to play instead of having to get rid of Hanuman or Volskaya and Temple? Let them get rid of them because they always get rid of them anyway. And each draft that we've seen, I think Code7 has won the map draft. And I almost think that is allowing them to progress further here.
I agree. And now this is going to be interesting. Will Cloud9 have the guts to take them to Gibraltar? And they will. So we just saw Code7 with a very dominant performance on Gibraltar, and Cloud9 saying, we don't care, bring it on. So we might see more of the crossfire defense coming out from Code7. And we'll see if Cloud9 has an answer that perhaps Luminosity did not in the semifinals.
Do we know offense defense yet?
Offense defense, taking a look. It looks like we might have Code7 on the attack first. They are the red team, so... Usually, as far like the lobby stuff, Team 2 is usually on attack, but sometimes the players will switch it on us last minute, and also sometimes the game bugs out. Although I think the random team switching got fixed, so
gotta invite.
No, it's a time-honored tradition where I don't invite the co-caster. You're in Hex's chair now. You need to adopt the tradition.
You know what? I got Cloud9 to invite me. Don't worry, don't worry, bro.
All right, yeah, I'm not even. All right, yeah, that's fair.
I got it.
You in there? Didn't even need my help. But yeah, so waiting here for Watchpoint Gibraltar, likely be Code7 on the attack first, and we will see what they bring forward. I don't think we're going to see any real reason for change for them in the beginning. I do think we're going to see the double tracer comp coming out. I'm more interested to see their defensive run, and also to see what Cloud9 runs on defense. I mean, one great thing about good esports players is that players steal from each other all the time. They see someone else do something that's really effective, they're going to steal it and make it better. So we could see Cloud9's version of a crossfire defense potentially.
You know, I actually think it's great that we have Cloud9 on offense and Code7 on defense. I think because you can't switch in the beginning, you have to really set a defense. I think we'll see the same from Code7 because it's hard to do a guessing game, right? If they want to try to play a similar type of tracer-ish comp at the beginning, I don't think they will. I think that they're going to do pretty much exactly what they did before. But if I had to guess what Cloud9 is going to run on offense, I feel like that they're going to be like, you know what? Maybe Luminosity, it didn't work for them, but it's going to work for us. And I could almost see them running the exact same thing, except it's going to be double tracer of their own. It's going to be double tracer versus double tracer. And pretty much exactly in the same way.
Yeah, definitely. So we are readying up here. Both teams about to be ready shortly. We'll be getting into map number 1 of the grand finals. It's going to be Cloud9 versus Code7. Trying not to be confused at the C9 versus C7 stuff. We were actually hoping Luminosity would win the semifinals just to avoid this entire situation to begin with. So shame Luminosity getting knocked out because now confusion reigns, Slasher.
Yeah, I see that. It's okay. It's okay. Code7 making a good name for themselves be picked up by someone else with a different name.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Code7, they keep this up, they definitely will get picked up because, you know, sponsors want to get in on the scene early. Now, people might go, well, gee, why are they picking up these teams early? It's because you don't want to miss out on picking up a good team, have that team get snagged by another org, and then be stuck in a situation where you can't pick up an org forever. Heroes of the Storm was in that situation for ages where the teams that would eventually become Tempo Storm and Cloud9 were on top of the North American scene for ages. And you had a lot of top tier sponsors just never really enter back into the scene because teams weren't able to defeat those teams. They wanted to get into the scene, but there was no teams that could get that were really on that level. Now, I do think Overwatch is going to have more parity and way more competitive teams just because of the nature of being an FPS game. But that's why you see teams pick up, sponsor these teams very early because you don't want to get left in the dust. So we are loading in. This is Watchpoint Gibraltar, map 1 of our grand finals, Code7 versus Luminosity. I can't wait to see what happens here, Hex or Slasher.
Well, yeah, that really
old habits.
That really is why the teams are picking up. Look, I know there's a lot of people out there. I know this has been memed and then anti-memed and meme back and forth. But the reason that teams are picking up players is because there's a lot of players, professional players that played other games that have long histories that are obviously going to be very good at Overwatch, and there are players that have already shown that they are very, very, very good at Overwatch. You as a normal person who might have some experience has as much chance as everyone else of becoming a professional gamer, 0.00001% of beating the current top of Overwatch pros as before. So people that are not in the beta, yes, there might be 1 or 2 people out there that they're going to get in when public beta comes up, and there's going to be raw talent that shows up, as we've seen throughout both of these teams that are not TF2 or Quake Legends in any of these teams. We see that new talent rises up, but it will not happen for most of you. It's okay. That's why they're pro teams. That's why it exists.
So, taking a look here at the defense for Cloud9, they're going to have Surefour on the defensive tracer, Reaver on the McCree, Kai on Symmetra, Grego on Zenyatta, Debit on Reinhardt, and Adam on the Mercy. So no defensive Torb coming out here, but Surefour confident all the same. For the offense coming out from Code7, we got Custa on the Lucio, JKW on the Torbjorn, Trudel on 76, Firestorm on Symmetra, and Double Tracer coming out from both TGOs, Nicholas and Torque.
Oh, so it is Code7 on offense.
Yes.
First, yeah. So I actually we'll have to see next half on what they will do.
Yep. So taking a look here, Tracer play already in action from both teams.
Interesting to note that Reaver is opting to go with McCree instead of doing Double Tracer versus Double Tracer. Maybe he'd rather just try to flashbang him out with Mercy. Yeah, Mercy's going to stay with Reaver. That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll stand back. And damage boost McCree, actually very scary. Can very easily two-shot a Tracer. So good stuff can come out from there. Both teams poking at each other right now. Cart is moving. Of course, as we know, the real test is getting through this next point. First checkpoint doesn't matter too much here on Gibraltar.
Nope, this is a similar setup to, you know, kind of how Code7 runs their defense, except that Cloud9 is electing to just everyone be in this side hall with a 200.
Yeah, we've seen this before at Cloud9 where they actually like hanging out in this right area, and it's been pretty effective. Reaver with first ball of the game takes out Torque. Trudel, though, right back, takes out Debit. 5v5 right now. Trudel moving in, getting a lot of good poke on this, and yeah, we'll take out Grego. Down goes Grego. JKW, 2 kills on the Torbjorn. The Resurrect, though, coming up immediately, helping Cloud9 to stay alive here, and Surefour getting kills in the back, able to take out the turret, takes out Nicholas. Surefour being a total pest in the back, takes out the turret again, and they're not dealing with Surefour all that well right now. He is getting hit by the soldier, but no, he takes out the soldier, so good stuff coming up from Surefour.
Offensive teleporter is still up, though. They were able to get the teleporter up, and no one's killed it. Now they're finally taking it down. They were able to get 1 or 2 people through. I don't think it'll be enough to hit this point, but they're going to make it rough.
Oh, look at this. Look at the sneak here. Tracer getting onto it, getting a little bit of extra push while no one was on it. Reaver, though, gets a double kill on his own for Cloud9. So Cloud9 making this pretty rough right now for the attackers.
Yeah, so a solid hold by Cloud9. Got a little bit scary at the end. We thought maybe that offensive teleporter plus the push from Torque might have just snuck it in again to try to cross the point, but now Cloud9 gets to be able to set up on defense again and try to keep it going. Reaver's been playing really well. Damage boosted McCree, just as scary as damage boosted Widow in terms of in the game of 2 characters.
Yep. Surefour with a nice bomb is able to take out Trudel, though. Boom goes the dynamite, down goes Trudel. That's going to be a 6v5 in favor of Cloud9 if Code7 decides to move forward here, and they might just wait for Trudel. And oh my goodness, the pickoff on Nicholas there, powered by Reaver in the back. Those 2 great shots. Kai with the finisher, and Nicholas is going to go down. So Cloud9 definitely finding their way here so far. JKW able to take out Surefour in the back, though. So respawn-wise, there could be a timing window where Code7 can get in. We do have the pulse bomb come out, doesn't get the value he wants. Let's see.
Oh, huge ship by
great Earthshatter, but Reaver wasn't in position for the Deadeye. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication there. And here comes Code7 off the sound barrier. Both teams down a player as they move forward. Molten Core is out. He's trying to get that level 3 turret up. I think that Cloud9 just kind of back up here, and Cloud9 showing a lot of good patience in their positioning so far.
Yeah, and this becomes a little bit of the problem when you have Torbjorn on offense. They're trying to get the turret up into that area to be able to get it on top of the turret.
Oh, look at this position. Pulse bomb coming in from above. You talk about Justice Rain from above. What about Surefour's bombs? Sets up Reaver for the double kill, and that is really nice stuff. Surefour getting in. A lot of harassment, and now he's going to back up, and Surefour making things happen. His defensive tracer has been just excellent so far, Slasher.
Torque has had a tracer in the back of them for maybe a minute now, and he's causing problems, but he's not causing enough problems to allow them to be able...
Oh, he does have his pulse bomb up now, though. Take a look. We do have a pulse bomb coming up. Nicholas blows up Adam. Let's take a look at the other pulse bomb coming out. The other pulse bomb did go out. 3 kills now for Code7. Code7 finding their footing and their momentum here. I'm not sure if Cloud9's going to be able to reinforce time. We have seen Cloud9 be very resilient on this point. Surefour with a nice bomb takes out the Torbjorn, but Torque going to punish Surefour, and now I'm not sure Cloud9 can stop the hanger phase from happening.
Debit had been playing very nice with Reinhardt to block the first Pulse Bomb, and I think he even partially blocked the second one, but you know, Torque and Nicholas finally able to get their combos working, but Trudell...
Torque able to get in, takes out Grego. Torque now, and this is what I've seen so much often with Cloud, or Code7, where they get a few kills and they start snowballing. It gets so hard to stop them once they get rolling, and we're gonna see if they're able to do that here again off the power of their Double Tracer. And look at Cloud9, look at their defensive holding. They're holding in this room now. This sort of room-based holding from Cloud9 has been paying off.
And this is still a tankless composition from Code7. It's triple DPS, and you have a turret on top of the cart,
Yep.
and it's, you know, very difficult to do it. It's interesting to have the turret placed back here, try to push into the plane. That is Cloud9's plan here. They're gonna try to hold this plane area and allow them to
look at that, Reaver with a great Deadeye, able to take out 2 people off that. Taking Reaver over the top. After that, he's gonna look for the cleanup. Custa in trouble. Down goes Custa. Reaver with the triple kill. And Reaver, again, making his presence known. His McCree is top-notch. We saw him do great stuff versus Metatron, and we're seeing more of the same here now versus the attack of Code7.
You know, Cloud9 to be able to hold this area. It is very good to be able to have Symmetra's teleporter up when it finally does come.
Offensive sound barriers on. Look, they are charging into Cloud9's room here. Pulse Bomb goes off, takes out Adam. Still 5v5 here as it goes on. Look at this from JKW, setting up the backline Molten Quartz Trap, but 5 kills for Cloud9. They are going to completely remove Code7 from the game. Code7's approach in that room fails, and again, this is some novel defense coming from Cloud9. I think they're the only team we've seen that really tries to focus their defense in a room, and it makes sense. That room is fortified with Symmetra turrets. It allows them to poke out, and it limits the ability for Double Tracer to really pick people off in their backline.
And you have to go through this part to be able to push the cart. They could try to go on the other side of the plane and come from behind, which...
we have a Deadeye coming up from the top. It is High Noon again. JKW going to go down the Surefour. 1 person down for Code7. Code7 trying to ignore the room. Surefour, though, punishing them badly. 2 kills for Surefour so far. Reaver in the back has Trudel in his sights, landing hit after hit. Needs 1 more shot to take out Trudel. Trudel running for his life. Not dying just yet. Debit in hot pursuit. Debit able to take him out. So Cloud9 again holding super strong here.
Yeah, I really like this defense. They tried to go on the other side of the plane, but all it did is split all of them up, and that was able to allow them to pick them off altogether. And in this room, controlling this room allows Symmetra to have her teleporter up and not really be taken because of the amount of turrets that are around it. Turrets not only do damage, but it like slows down just for a split second, and they are going to have to be able to break this room to push the cart.
Pulse Bomb coming up from Surefour. Surefour looking for the value in the backline is going to rewind to the other side. A very tricky rewind coming up from Surefour as Code7 now time's starting to be a pressure. I mean, they only have 2 minutes left to get through the hangar, and they have not made a whole lot of progress in the last few minutes here.
Do you think this offensive Torbjorn may have to go now? It might be time to switch to Monkey. It might be time to have a tank in. It really feels like Code7 is going to have to try to switch something up here. They're not going to be able to get control of this room this way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the offensive Torbjorn, it's great when you have your tracers up in front and then the turrets on the cart, and it's really hard to deal with the momentum, but the turret's in the back right now. It's nowhere near the cart, and Cloud9 has just set up a picnic feast up in this room, and they haven't been able to crack it. So yeah, I agree. JKW going on to something other than a Torbjorn might pay some dividends. Pulse Bomb coming up from Torque, whiffs entirely. Surefour in the back, takes out Firestorm. The teleporter will go down. Code7 trying to make the most of this here, but Reaver getting kills, Surefour getting kills, and this just is not working out super well for Code7.
I mean, they did break the room, though. They got rid of the teleporter, they got rid of some of the turrets, and they forced them at least onto the cart where they'll try to be able to win a team fight. Cloud9 is going to try to do their best to get back into that room, though, and try to get on top.
Yep, they want to get back in this room. Yeah, this is a great room. I mean, look at it. You have all the turrets, you have a big health pack. I mean, it's not the worst place to take up a residence.
By the way, all these will have names soon.
Eventually.
Or they do, and look, it's hard. There will be call-outs. I can't even imagine how many call-outs there are going to be because these maps
There's going to be map-specific call-outs at some point. We just need it to get popularized and go from there. And maybe we have a role in that. Who knows? But taking a look, Firestorm with offensive teleporter is up. JKW did switch to Soldier, so the switch-up is there. Offensive teleporter is up. Code7 moving in. Here comes a defensive Reinhardt, though, out of Debit saying absolutely no to that push. Stalls it out single-handedly with the Earthshatter. Now Code7 find themselves getting pushed back again. JKW running for his life.
Yeah, I mean, now he's interested in the Soldier, which is more just to try to get back to the point in time so they can push the cart.
But only 25 seconds left, so...
They have 1 team fight left. Of course, they'll be able to touch it because they have the Tracer. Well, they have a lot of ults here, so they have to use them. very wisely. 2 pulse bombs.
They have double pulse bombs, so we've seen Code7 use this to their advantage in this situation. There's a long way to go, and if they lose anyone early here, it's probably going to be GG. One of the pulse bombs is out. Debit in a whole lot of trouble. Tracer is all over him. Chipper, though, able to take up Firestorm. First kill going to Cloud9. Reaver from the top. Good kill coming out from him. Look, on Nicholas in the back. Nicholas might be out of blanks. JKW able to take out Chair 4. Code7 still in this. Kai though with a kill. Grego and Debit with 2 extra kills on top of it. And now this is almost certainly going to be GG for Cloud9. They hold in the hangar phase. A great defense coming out from them. And now we're just going to see what the defense of Code7 has in store to potentially counter this.
For me, that game was all Debit. His Reinhardt play, I mean, he must have blocked 3 to 4 pulse bombs.
Yes.
And as we see, he got 3
he even gets to play the game for good measure.
He got several multi-kills. He played incredible, definitely.
Yeah, and this is one of his better Earth Shatters in the game. Just look at this, absolute beauty. And it helps when you're holding in the room like that, you force the other team to sort of come in those sort of flanks. That really opens up those Earth Shatter opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, let alone all of the kills that he just got, and actually he did that like 1 or 2 other times throughout the map. Him just blocking all of the great pulse bombs that we saw in the previous game versus Luminosity makes a huge difference because the Tracers in the LG games were able to do a lot with their ults and cause a lot of damage and cause a lot of confusion and, you know, making things difficult in team fights. So to open up the fight, each of these pulse bombs, besides the one that got them through to the hangar at the beginning, were not successful, and then they were not able to open up the fight like they were against LG. So they had a much rougher time, and now Cloud9, all they have to do is get through the hangar, and they'll be good. But as we saw, Luminosity wasn't even able to get that far for the most part.
Yeah, so I mean, it remains to be seen. We've seen this before where one team has trouble on their attack and go, okay, they're done next round. It's over, they're finished. And then you see them come out with an even better defense. Now, IDD, QD, of course, probably the kings of doing that and just absolutely teasing the casters, thinking that there's an upset coming.
Will Cloud9 run their double Tracer, or will they go with Mercy and Widows and McCree?
We'll just have to see.
And that's going to be a big decision, I think, from them, because we saw it didn't work out for LG, but they could think that, we can run the same thing.
We don't on my end, I don't have an official timestamp, but I was gonna say it was around 5 minutes remaining, something like 4:50 or so, when they capped and started the hangar phase from Code7. So anything significantly slower than that coming out from Cloud9, and they're going to have to finish the hangar phase and win. Anything significantly faster, and they won't, they'll just win outright. For those that are watching at home. So taking a look at the defense from Code7 as it rolls out here, we have JKW on the Symmetra, Firestorm on the 76, Torque on the Junkrat, Nicholas on a Widow, Cust on the Mercy, and Trudeau on the 76.
Same exact defense, probably same setup, same positions. They're already going in those positions, already setting up the turrets the same way. We're gonna have the same defense that we saw against LG. And on offense, Cloud9, they opt to pick the Mercy, McCree, Widow instead of running their Tracers. They don't want any part of that. They're gonna go with double Winston on Debit and Kiki, Reaver on Widow, and Surfer on McCree. Here we go. I think that's probably the better decision here. I really like
it definitely. The Winston, I think, definitely is going to help them a lot more. I mean, certainly it helped how they broke Luminosity when they switched to it later. They just switched to it a little bit too late. So take a look at Reaver. Reaver, of course, an X factor here too. If Reaver can get picks on Widow, that changes everything when dealing with the sort of crossfire defense. I mean, he gets 2 picks, it's over.
Yeah, Reaver versus Nicholas. It's going to be a big matchup right now, especially on this first point.
And they have sightline, so Widow battle is engaged. And actually, it looks like Nicholas isn't even really fighting it. I guess he figures it's not worth the...
well, Reaver has Mercy, so Reaver will kill Nicholas much easier, and I don't think it's a good idea, because Mercy is with Torque, and that's going to allow him to have...
Nicholas is still looking to poke it, though, so a little bit back and forth. Of course, the cart rolls to the first checkpoint easily. No surprise with how this is running. That is not the thing. And look at that! After the first hit, we see the Winston going deep in after Nicholas. Nicholas now could be in a bit of trouble. Is able to back up a bit. Triddle takes out the Winston, but look at this disruption in the back line from Cloud9, even if they don't get it on this push.
Yeah, Cloud9, unlike LG, is able to create a whole lot of space, and everyone is fighting individual fights everywhere, 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, still causing havoc. Debit is still fighting, finally goes down, and Code7 does hold.
It's a good hold from Code7, there's no doubt about it. But I do think the Winston's...
And I think that's the most important part here.
Yeah. The Winstons have enough disruption power, though, that I think you run that same engagement a few times, eventually they're going to get through. I think it's going to be a lot hard for them to solidify there. And Reaver takes out Nicholas. That is a huge pick. That's something we didn't see in the Luminosity series. And now they are moving forward. Cloud9 is, and if they get another kill here, Reaver takes out Custa. There will be no Resurrect. 3 kills now for Cloud9. 4 kills. Reaver absolutely going off. And I don't know if this is salvageable now for Code7.
Yeah, you're right. That first Winston was able to break up the spacing and be able to get in, and then the same thing happened. Reaver pretty much got an early pick.
The Resurrect does come out here. I think that was an offensive Resurrect, no less. And that's got to be GG. They capped that point way earlier.
Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Or do they have to go through to the...
That's how it goes. I mean, right now, we'll let the teams play it out until they say GG, but it is GG. I am very confident saying that's faster. So, good stuff coming out from Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all they needed was double Winston. And Reaver did win the initial Widow battle.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The Winston comps were really great, but the bigger thing that we saw there was that the pickoffs from Reaver. That's the sort of the downside of the Crossfire defense, is that all those heroes are very pickable by a Widow, so all you need is for the Widow to get a little bit of momentum, and that's it. Like, that's the game. So, taking a look here on the truck of triumph, as it were, Cloud9 striking first blood, going up 1-0 over Code7, and they looked pretty dominant on Gibraltar. They were able to get through what looked to be a nearly unstoppable defense from Code7 in the semifinal, and they did it with a better team comp and perhaps just a little bit of better Widow play.
Now, for me, I only said it was so important before because I feel like if you don't get the ship, which is your payload, and this thing, if you don't get it up the ramp, you are pretty much stuck on the bottom, and trying to get through the payload while you sit on the payload, you have to, and then push forward is very hard to get the battle. But as long as even if you get team wiped, which happened to Cloud9, but you're able to get the ship at least up the ramp, then you don't have to fight underneath the ramp to push the payload and have the fight at the same time. And I think that really does help teams not get trapped into that area. Because even if you get wiped, your spawn is still close enough that it's way closer than defensive spawn. For those of you who don't realize out there, losing on defense in a one-on-one situation is way worse like initial point.
Yes.
For defense, because your spawn is so much further away than offense that even if you got 2 kills, it might not be a good trade. Like, you would have to do significant damage the further up you are on offense. That's why it's better, obviously, to play as a team. But that's why you see teams, like, playing in this room over here. That's what we saw Cloud9 do on defense the entire time. And that's because they're willing to give up the first portion of the map in the hangar because you have to get through the whole hangar. So just going into one room or playing the defensive setup all the way back on Gibraltar is all right. Because even if you gave up that spacing, you didn't risk dying, which is way worse for your team because of respawn times, etc.
Yeah, and teams are getting a lot better about how they're handling that in terms of the decision-making that they're making. I mean, early on in Overwatch, people are a little bit YOLO in their decision-making. They would go up a little bit too early. They would get picked off. They would, there's sort of that ego thing in FPS games where think, I can take this guy 1-1. And even if you take that fight, 70% of the time, the 30% could strike right away. And if that happens, you could end up just costing your defense a whole ton of time that they otherwise would have been able to hold. So, it's one of those things where you got to check your pride a little bit on the defense, stand further back, do the smart thing rather than the I'm going to beat this guy thing.
I mean, it does change throughout the map because as the offense pushes the cart to the end of the game, then defensive spawn is the first spawn and offense has to worry about pushing in because their spawn is so further away. So like as the game goes, the amount of time between the spawn, between offense and defense gets closer and closer together as it gets to the middle of the map. And then it reverses the other way from defense to offense as you get further in the map where offense has to get back to the point to capture it. That's why 2 capture point maps aren't really played so much in competitive play because among things, the amount of time that it requires to get to the second point on Anubis and Volskaya and Hanamura is very long. So either you see teams win in like a minute or a minute and a half, or they take A and they immediately go to B and try to like mess with the spawns and try to spawn kill them immediately and then take B and win the game. Or it takes like 8 minutes of constant attacking and needing offensive teleporters to try to win because of how respawn times work between off.
And just a note, even for Blizzard's sake, Blizzard, of course, watch these casts and listens in. I think the other issue with capture point maps, too, forget all the gameplay issues that go on, just the pure nature of time, because they have such variability in the amount of time that they're played. Like payload maps, for example, sometimes you'll have very quick payload maps, but generally speaking, the time played is within a reasonable range, back and forth. A capture point map, I mean, you could go into a series with a capture point map, say 2 capture point maps, and that series could be over far faster, to the tune of almost an hour earlier than a set of payload maps. So that alone, too, is sort of has issues from the esports end, just for tournament scheduling as well.
Yeah, I mean, King of the Hill maps can go quickly, too, but those are incredibly exciting. So I think maybe, that might go against that a little bit. I think the 2 capture point maps, at least for me, it really is more of the time and the way the maps work, and there aren't more maybe capture spots. Maybe if it was 3 and the maps were a little bit longer, because you couldn't put 3 now, or how it is set up now. But there just needs to be a way to make the mode more apt to the competitive players. Because as we see each week, they are not played very often. When they are played, we're all surprised, we're all shocked, and I'm not really thrilled to watch it, to be completely honest with you. So something needs to be addressed in that way to make it so that it's appealing to competitive players.
So everyone is readying up here. We are going into Numbani. This is going to be map number 2 of our Cloud9 versus Code7. Code7 beating their way through the bottom semis, able to take out Luminosity in the semifinals, get to the grand finals. Cloud9 going through the top half of the bracket, defeating Impulse 11, an up-and-coming EU team, to get here. And they're facing off here. Cloud9 struck first blood in map number 1 on Gibraltar, able to put on a formidable Gibraltar offense. Now we're going to see if Code7 can turn the tables here on Numbani.
Numbani. Well, we just saw Junkrat on defense on Gibraltar. Did not go nearly as well for them as it did against Luminosity. Now, this is another map where I've seen Junkrat a bunch. It is Cloud9 on defense, right?
Yep, it is going to be Cloud9 on the defense first. It's just one of those things where I think they had the choice of attack or defense. I think they might prefer defense first, or maybe they don't care. I think I've heard them say they don't care at some points. I don't know. It's one of those things that's in such flux from day to day. Who really knows? But taking a look at that Cloud9 defense as it rolls out here, we're going to have Kai on the Symmetra, Grego on the defensive Widow. So that's an interesting changeup. Usually it's Reaver on
Yeah, that is.
But Grego's going to be on the defensive Widow. Debit on the Torbjorn, Reaver on McCree, Adam on Mercy, and Surefour on May. So this is a new comp that I don't think we've seen before coming out of Cloud9.
Now, what makes me believe Grego is on the Widow is because Reaver is going to be with Adam. I believe the Mercy is going to stay with Reaver. And so that's going to... Surefour is usually their second DPS, but May is the surprise pick here. Out of all the picks here that we would normally see, it's pretty much May, and then Surefour is going to be playing May, and so that allows Grego to have another attack, which is going to be DPS for DPS because Code7 doesn't like tanks. So we're seeing another variation of this meta, which is going to be Symmetra shields, double Tracer again with Torque and Nicholas, and instead of a Torbjorn on offense, we might see the Torb if they capture the first point, but we're going to see the meta that they use at the end of the first game, which is double Soldier. So no tanks versus no tanks, and let's go.
And the double soldier is interesting too. I mean, obviously a lot of hype is given to the tracers for the Symmetra shields, but 250 HP soldiers are not exactly easy to deal with either. That's a lot of consistent DPS. And Grego, though, at the first pick of the game, takes out Nicholas. That was not an easy shot at all. Grego making things happen. One tracer getting into the back line, but already that is going to cripple the offense coming out of Code7. So taking a look here, both teams positioning. We see Code7 going up that left side from their perspective, going through the building. We see teams trying to use this attack pretty often, but they do have to be careful of Reaver. Reaver putting down a lot of suppressing fire. Widowmaker in the back in case they decide not to go that way. So I like the position coming out here, Cloud9, and there's Grego again with another pick off onto the 76.
Yeah, so nice hold so far. No ults yet, but I would assume that Kai is probably pretty close to her teleporter, which is, I would say, very important on this map.
Yes.
Her getting that up and them staying alive fast enough for Kai to get the teleporter up and put it up before they push in will be very important on them securing the point back in case
And one thing we're knowing here, Kai able to take out Torque there. I feel like, I'm not sure if it's intimidation or what, but the tracers of Code7 feel a little bit handicapped this game. I feel like Cloud9 is stymieing them, sort of making them wonder mentally what to do, because usually you see them very deep in the back, but the defense of Cloud9 so far has been absolutely airtight, and you just haven't seen the standard level of tracer shenanigans that we expected out of Code7.
Well, I mean, one of the great ways we've talked about being able to stop, you know, play characters like Tracer and Genji is with Reaver and McCree.
Oh, look at that ice wall coming out from Surefour. Actually forces out the rewind to have Tracer.
Yeah, so it's McCree's flashbang, which stops a Tracer, and then that allows him to kill him. But I think that's why Surefour is on Mei. I think part of the wall here is to kind of do like a StarCraft type of wall where you bring in one character, don't let them leave, and that's usually going to be the Tracer.
So a little bit of a more impressive offense coming out from Code7 here. They're able to get a few kills. Look at Trudel! Trudel just getting absolutely destroyed by this Mei here. That was a beautiful wall. Unfortunately, the rest of this not going quite as well for Cloud9. Cloud9 is getting into the backfield, is making this happen, but Reaver fighting it back. As we see there, Surefour still alive, still making things happen.
No.
JKW going off on the Widowmaker,
Nicholas
however.
gets Grego in the back and gets his teleport before anyone can get back in, so he made it.
Everyone I keep switching to on the Cloud9 side is getting killed by JKW. Maybe it's a sign to go to JKW, but even with all the pickoffs, it still is not a clean fight so far for Code7. The teleporter doing a lot of work, bringing the Cloud9 members back, and while Code7 is fighting in, Cloud9 is making them work for every part of this here.
Yeah, I think Cloud9 is going to get zoned out here. I think they're probably going to lose this point.
Oh my goodness, JKW with an absolutely beautiful Widow play. 3 hits, 2 kills, headshots all around. Absolutely stunning. And now Code7, after a bit of a trouble spot, is going to move on.
So Kakai actually did get the teleporter down, but as soon as JKW came in with a pick, that left Grego alone up on top, and then Nicholas came in, took off Grego, and then got the teleporter, and that pretty much secured them that first checkpoint.
Grego finally ended the reign of terror from JKW, taking him out, but look at this now. Tracer's on hot pursuit. Nicholas goes down. Torque's still on a rampage. Lots of good Tracer stuff coming out from Code7 as they move forward. They're pushing up forward with great haste. The payload is moving forward as well. More than 3 people on it. So now, this is where Code7 is so dangerous. This is where they get momentum and they keep the momentum. And we'll see if Cloud9 is going to be able to reverse it anytime soon as they go through the streets phase.
Well, Cloud9 has now opted to match. We have double Tracer versus double Tracer finally. We haven't seen it in the first game, but here we go in Numbani, Reaver, and Surefour. Both going to Tracer. Grego and Keek are going to stay on DPS, so they're going to have 4 DPS and 2 support here. Still no tanks, but Code7 is able to push the cart all the way through the next checkpoint.
Kai able to take out Torque just in time. He was about to eat a pulse bomb in about 2 seconds if he did not take out Torque there. So good stuff coming out from Kai. And look at this, Cloud9 again finding their favorite room. This is a consistent theme of Cloud9. That being said, the payload is moving down, and they might not be able to camp the room quite as hard as we see on other maps.
No, Code7's done a remarkable job of pushing the cart, but Surefour with 2 big kills, and finally they are able to respond with their Tracers. So
Surefour hit a good pulse bomb in the back, got the double kill. Grego with the extra pick off. JKW now in trouble, again go down the Surefour, and Cloud9 stabilizing.
Big moment for Cloud9. Yeah, as you just said, they're stabilizing. This is going to allow them to set up on defense, and they need to put on a show here. I mean, we saw yesterday, I think, what Mendo could do with just Widow by himself on this map in terms of causing many minutes of problems. It's going to be on both Reaver, Surefour, and Grego to put up a solid lead in 5 minutes.
Well, Grego takes out Torque there. That's going to cripple the Code7 offense as they go forward. Reaver staying in the back with the pulse bomb. Surefour going to have pulse bomb up soon as well. Takes out Symmetra. We're going to see that pulse bomb any second now from Surefour. Surefour just ready to go up. Throws a pulse bomb. Sticks on. Both soldiers going down. You might all be soldiers now, but you're both dead in that case. So a great play from Surefour, going to just absolutely stifle the offense coming out from Code7. And look at Grego with the double kill as well. So everything going Cloud9's way at this phase now.
Yeah, Cloud9's even opting to play on this top roof part. Usually you'll see teams play more defensive in the back. I mean, we saw, for example, again, Mendo Kusai and IDDQD, they put their Widow almost all the way next to spawn and to try to get the angles that way, but Cloud9's confident right now in going up on top.
Oh, Torque able with the great double kill, takes out Kai and Reaver. This might be the patented double Tracer we've seen out of Code7. They've made a lot of work off double bombs in the past. Nicholas has his bomb. He's looking for his prey. Barriers out for both teams as Code7 moves forward. Momentum now firmly in their favor. Look at Grego! Grego able to come in with that snipe, takes out Nicholas, stops the pulse bomb from ever happening. and this could be the turnaround. Sure4 in the back gets a kill. Kai adding on top, and Code7, they were looking so good Slasher, but the momentum changes just like that, and Grego was a huge part of that key pick.
Widow on defense has become an integral part on this last part of Numbani. There's just so many angles you can choose to pick players off, and you hit your shots, you can change games, and Grego's doing it right now.
Yeah, he's way far forward with his picks. Is able to take out Firestorm. Down goes Symmetra. Again, a 65 fair Cloud9. Sure4 getting down and dirty in the back as well. Has a Pulse Bomb. Could be seeing any moment. Doesn't even need to use it to kill JKW. And he is far in the back. No one's even dealing with him. Pulse Bomb goes off. Doesn't kill the other Tracer, but lots of pressure on the Code7 as they try and push a payload here. And I'll tell you what, the double Tracer is still doing some work for Code7 on top of it, but they are going to get pushed out.
I mean, here's the issue for me. If they play in this top room, as I was talking about before, it does allow Grego to get a lot of these picks, and he is able to almost single-handedly win them these team fights. But with them playing this far up, it allows Code7 to push on the bottom and to get around them. And that's how Code7 has now pushed twice and been able to cause a lot of space and cause a lot of deaths, and then Grego's had to come in and like save them.
Torque able to take out Sure4, so it's going so far good so far, but Grego takes out JKW. 5v5 now. Tracer's coming in. Pulse Bomb's going off onto Grego. Grego gonna survive, however. So again, Grego being nimble is able to take out Nicholas. So Torque, the last remaining Tracer for Code7, I don't think this is gonna be the push for them here.
So this is the third fight in a row where continuing Grego is controlling that top area, and Code7 can get no ground there. But then two players were on the cart there for 5 seconds because everyone's coming from underneath. So Cloud9 does have to control this bottom area.
Yep, Sure4 getting in on the defense. Torque, though, making things happen. Nicholas has a Pulse Bomb up. Trudel takes out Sure4, so this could be the opportunity that Code7 needs. Note that Grego is still alive. They need to do something about Grego. Grego's just going to snipe them from the back if he gets the opportunity. JKW takes out Adam. Momentum again in Code7's favor. They're moving up. They're moving forward. Pulse Bombs are out. Grego takes out JKW. Grego takes out Trudel. Grego is not being accounted for in the back right now.
And no, Grego finally jumps down. That might have been his mistake now.
Yep, he's now under pressure. He's going to go down finally, but Grego doing so much work. Really picking out from Reaper left off, but look at this, Code7 now. Momentum going in their favor. Tracer's getting the pickoffs. It's a slow momentum shift, but the shift nonetheless as they go forward. Grego going to be back up soon, but we do have a ult coming out from Kai here, attack visor, but it's not enough, and Code7 going to cap out the map. After finally getting some momentum in their way, but wow, Cloud9 holding for quite a while there.
I mean, that entire time, Grego was able to control that whole upper area. Really, the only time he died is when he jumped down from the vertical position that he was in here to try to get kills. I mean, it worked out a lot of this. Grego was the reason that Cloud9 stayed in it at the end of that game. See, the problem, though, for me is even though Grego is controlling that entire top area, during that time, Code7 had players on the cart, and they had players to come around and to get kills. And I would say Grego got them out of those situations both times. They had no business winning even the first two fights, and that Code7 probably should have ended the game even quicker. That I didn't quite like how Cloud9 was playing the positioning on the end there. I think that Code7...
Yeah. I mean, it has upsides and downsides. The upside, as you mentioned, is that it gave a lot more protection to Grego, and that helped him out. But you're right, it allowed Code7 to get a lot done underneath, and it did lead to their doom, if not for a few Grego saves here and there. But Grego, of course, playing out of his mind. But Code7 overall time was 8:44. So it's definitely a very beatable time for Cloud9, but they have to be careful because we've seen some great defense out of Code7. And for those who are just tuning in, this is GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup. This is our grand finals, Cloud9 versus Code7. Cloud9 won Watchpoint Gibraltar in a fairly dominant fashion. Code7 now on the defense in the Numbani, trying to bring it back to a 1-1 series.
Defense coming out from Code7. I guess we'll see. They're going to triple Lucio out. Symmetra, and then we'll find out after.
It's like, what are the Lucios going to be on is the real question as you watch that. And of course, that's a strategy where, we don't know who really came out, that teams will claim different caliber. We first noticed IDDQD doing it a lot, but regardless, it is more of a thing here where you just use the Lucio speed boost smartly to get more turrets out more quickly.
And Code7 is going to opt to stick with what's working. They're going to go double Tracer on defense. So they're not electing to go Mercy style. They're going to have Zenyatta, double Tracer, Trudel, Soldier, no tank again. And for Cloud9, we're going to have Reaver on Pharah, which is probably the most striking character out of all of it. We haven't really seen Pharah Mercy this entire series or day today.
Yep. I think the last time we saw it in the very, very beginning with Rafa, but that, I don't think we've seen a whole lot of it today.
Yeah, and Pharah Mercy has gone out of style just because of hit scan characters like McCree and Widow and Soldier just being so good, but Pharah does come into play on some of these maps, and she is very good on Numbani, so we're going to see if Kai and Devitt are going to go double Winston, try to create some space, and let Reaver do his work. Sure.
Yep. So Reaver coming in, going for early poke. We see Cloud9 deciding to take the left side up here. No big surprise. We've seen teams do this time and time again. Tower froze. 8:22 is the time left remaining here as they move in. Torque with the first kill of the game is able to pick off Adam. Adam not getting to the side unscathed, and yeah, I mean, with the Mercy down, there will be no res. The res actually comes up pretty quickly. Could have been up on this first push, and now Cloud9 a little bit stuck here, and Mercy's not going to be able to get back to them very easily as they sit in here in this back area of Numbani.
Yeah, they're just kind of stuck in the back.
And Torque able to take out Sure4. So now with 2 people down for Cloud9, I think this is going to go the way of Code7, so they're going to have to just back up, regroup, get back with Adam on Mercy, and go at it again.
This went about as bad as it could for Cloud9. That's going to give, you know, ults to Code7. Now they have Teleporter already. Nicholas has a Pulse Bomb, and Torque is probably close to Pulse Bomb too.
Torque uses Pulse Bomb, actually. They can mop all that up.
Yeah,
so Torque, but I mean, Tracer builds ult so quickly, doesn't even matter. I mean, she gets all quicker than...
JKW's Teleporter is very important. They're going to have to go after the Teleporter first here, because as we've seen, if they...
take a look at this. Nicholas is totally set for a Pulse Bomb here if he wants to go in on the back line, but no! Reaver takes him out! The Pulse Bomb opportunity is gone! Reaver with the double kill! Triple kill for Reaver! He's still going in! That's 3 huge shots for Reaver! Quad kill! He is going in! Lucio now waiting to, his turn to get sniped. Reaver takes out the Tracer! Reaver, he did not actually, thought he took out the Tracer, but putting the team on his back, Torque the last remaining person, and Reaver... Wow, yeah, the teleport's coming in. They are coming back into the fight. We'll see if it's enough, but Cloud9 looking very strong here. Deadeye coming out from Sure4 in the back. Right now, Reaver looking for more of those kills. Is going to pick up another double kill. This point has been all Reaver so far. But hey, don't count Code7 yet. They're still coming in off the teleporter. They have a chance. We have the defensive Transcends coming out. A little bit of pressure coming on the Reaver here.
If he dies, it's going to be Reaver alone. Reaver's still
alive with 2 cleanup kills. So Code7 might actually hold this, but my goodness, Reaver went absolutely off there.
I mean, Reaver opened up the entire... Reaver's like, okay, Pharah's not working. Let's just do Boosted Widow. And 4 straight kills in a row pretty much gives them the point, except for the Teleporter was not destroyed in the back because one of the Tracers was dueling with Winston and was able to push him off enough.
Reaver coming back, big tumble bomb comes up from Nicholas, and Trudel takes out Reaver. 3 kills for Code7. Reaver not going to be getting quite the feast that he did last time, as Nicholas making things happen. A little bit of extra support from Trudel. Trudel has his attack visor up as well, so we're going to see some potential of 76 holding, but man, that, I don't even know what to say. I'm still in awe of that Reaver play. I mean, yes, they only got 3rd on the point, but that was so close to just carrying the point outright.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But he has to do that again, though. And
yes.
I think that now Code7 is aware, and they're going to be playing angles much better because, they originally had Pharah. They didn't.
Oh, Pulse Bomb comes out from Torque.
It's going to be a Widow. I mean, there's still Winston in the back, and Kaikai's going to try to create some space.
Yep, but you see Reaver's looking for that pick on Zen, is able to get the pick on Zen. Looking forward here, both teams down a player. Pulse Bomb was wasted a little bit earlier in the fight, but now Reaver having some issues with the Tracer in his face. Trudel and Torque able to get some kills in the back line. Sure4 also doing work in the back, so a little bit of back and forth here from both teams. Nicholas able to take out Reaver though, so I do think there's going to be another hold coming out from Code7.
Another hold, and now they have the ult advantage. Torque and Nicholas really doing work on their Tracer right now, and that's even as called Sure4 to go into Genji, so we're going to see a little bit of a switch here. They only have 1 minute left.
Yeah, even though they have 5 minutes left on the map, or a little bit less than that now. The bigger problem is that they can lose outright on this point. In fact, this is their last good push here, Slasher, because if they get wiped out, I don't think they get another chance. Take a look at Trudel. Trudel has tech visor. I think we're going to see it any moment. He does. He has people in sights, but Sure4 had him as in his sights instead. Surefour with the kill on Trudel. 65 in favor of Cloud9. Cloud9 now threatening, moving in. 2 kills for Cloud9, 3 kills. They are going absolutely insane here. Reaver with the pick on the Torque. Surefour really showing his Genji chops. And Cloud9 in a very good opportunity here to extend this map. They are going to get the payload. Time will move forward. Payload in progress, and really got to give it up to Surefour there. Surefour taking out the 76 edit ult. Very key to that play.
Yeah, that was huge. Surefour switches into Genji, and they get it in one try. So, I mean, 2 switches. We see Reaver go from Farah to Widow, and from Tracer to Genji, that wins him the point. Surefour is straight back to Tracer.
He just went Genji for 1 point, but he got Valley. The thing that's a little bit more troubling for Cloud9 here, though, is that they only have a little under 4 minutes left. That's still plenty of time to complete the map, don't get me wrong, but they do need to avoid getting stalled out for too long in the streets phase here.
Yeah, and JKW does have Teleporter. I mean, Teleporter doesn't really matter at the last point, but at the very first point, and during the
Pulse bomb coming out from Torque there, direct stick on the Grego. Down goes Grego. The fight is being engaged. Tracers are going in. Symmetra now in the back has a lot of trouble. Torque getting the kill there. Going in, Kai now in a lot of issue. Has to jump away. But look at this, 3 kills for Cloud9. Cloud9 able to reverse it a bit off Kai's play and Reaver sniping. So, not quite over yet on this push for Cloud9.
Yeah, no, those were huge kills. They got JKW, so he isn't able to put a teleporter down in this middle portion, so they're not going to be able to fight for the point. They're going to get the checkpoint now, and they're just going to try to push forward. It wouldn't surprise me. I think JKW will probably stay because of shield, which is the whole point of composition. But they're not going to be able to get a forward spawn. But Cloud9 does have to move forward pretty much all the time.
Yeah, and time-wise, this is definitely a slower point to this cap point. So Cloud, I mean, it doesn't even matter because, of course, the map was completed anyways. But momentum-wise, they have less time to work with than Code7 had on their attack run.
How much time is now?
The time remaining is 2:42.
Okay.
So take we do a pulse bomb going off. Torque with a huge pulse bomb gets 2 people off that. Down goes Reaver, and now moving forward, Nicholas with a kill as well, rounding it up to 3 kills for Code7 as they push back Cloud9. And yeah, only 2 minutes 25 seconds remaining for Cloud9. So that's time to work with. That's time for about maybe 2 to 3 good pushes, but they need to make a count. And ult-wise, it's not in their favor. They're probably going to lose at least one of these pushes from ults alone.
They definitely are going to lose at least one of these pushes. They're going to have to build ult probably for the next fight. They're going to have to do as much damage as they can now and try to build as much ult as possible.
We see Nicholas here in the front line, going back and forth. They do have to be careful of that Widow. Pulse bomb coming from Surefour does not connect. Nicholas, meanwhile, on the prowl with his pulse bomb, looking. Oh, the pulse bomb's going on the back. This could be huge. Takes out Grego. Kai's still alive. Surprisingly, he took a lot of damage to that pulse bomb. Actually, don't know how he didn't die at the Discord. He's got Primal Rage, and Surefour and Kai in the back making it happen. They should be dead, but they're not. Defensive Sound Barrier coming down. Trudel trying to make things happen here in the back. Tac Visor is out, looking for the Lucio. Offensive Sound Barrier comes up to come in. I don't know if he wanted to do that. I'm not sure if Cloud9 can actually hold on here. Interesting. That being said, Kai coming in from the back still might work out. Grego and Reaver with 2 kills. So Sound Barrier is working out. Defensive Transcendence is out, but Code7 very much out of sorts here, Slasher.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 is continuing to put on the pressure. I think they'll win this team fight. I mean, the Chasers are staying alive. Lucio's staying alive. They finally.
Grego has attack visor. I think this is going to go Cloud9's way. 1:11 remain on the timer. They have Code7. They are chaining deaths. Cloud9 very close to going up 2-0 here as they move forward. They're camping the spawn, and I think this might be GG in favor of Cloud9. Taking a look at the overview here as they come in.
Card for the last 10 seconds, and he hasn't let it go forward, so he's giving it a chance for Code7.
Yeah, but Divas are coming out, so this is turning into an absolutely crazy final fight here as we look at what's happening. 2 kills, though, for Cloud9 as they move forward. The cart is moving forward in the end, and this is just not a good look. Trudel desperately trying to hang on there. Not going to happen. Cloud9 will beat Code7's time by a mere 40 seconds, but it is 40 seconds enough. Cloud9 now leading the series 2-0 as Code7 will now be fighting for their tournament life on the next map.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to Reaver. Opened up the first point, continually opened up the middle. Even at the end, he was able to pick off the Tracers, which was, you know, the most important part here, and hit into spawn.
How could this not be play of the game here? This is, of course, we saw it as it happened, but just absolutely beautiful stuff coming out from Reaver.
Yeah, Reaver really did take over. The Winstons really did create some space, and I even like the switch from Mercy into Symmetra at the end. You are able to try to get the teleporter in case you need time, and then you get the same shields for the Tracers as you would anyway. And Reaver didn't even need the Mercy. He didn't need the boosted Mercy. He's okay killing everyone with headshots anyway, so that allows Cloud9 to have a different pick and not have to worry about that.
Yeah, so really strong stuff coming out of Cloud9, but I mean, Code7 showing why they are a top team right now. I mean, they took Cloud9 basically to the limit. If they defended just one more push, time-wise, yes, 40 seconds, but if you think of it in terms of pushes, they were only one push away from winning that game. If they defend that last push, that would have been it. And they would have evened up the series 1-1, but now they are facing the possibility of a sweep as Cloud9 is up 2-0.
Yeah, if they were even able to make a little bit of a stand in the middle portion of the map, they would have won that game. JKW wasn't able to get his teleporter up at all through the middle. You know, one extra team fight, and they win. So now I do have to wonder, CP,
yes,
do you believe Code7 is going to change it up at all? Because we've seen now the double tracer run pretty successfully. They played great. Torque and Nicholas, a lot of great pulse bombs, creating a lot of space, a lot of damage, a lot of flanking, pushing the carp. They've done successful, but it hasn't won them 2 maps. Do they need to mix it up at least on offense? Or do they keep going?
It's hard to say because, again, teams want to practice as they play, right? Even though you have your mid-series adjustments, Code7 has had a lot of success with what they want to run here, and it just comes down to a judgment call. Okay, do we change things up, or do we just say that, maybe we just need to play a little bit better? Because the margin in the last game was very, very close. It's tough to say. Maybe they changed something up, but I'm not sure. Everything I've seen from...
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, everything we've seen from Code7, I haven't seen too much variety out of them. They really like their double tracer comp. They clutch on it a lot, at least on the offensive end. But yeah, I mean, maybe if they do have an alternate comp, this would be the time to pull it out, because I agree they've been having issues, but sometimes in your mid-series, it's hard to sort of change those comps midway through if you haven't really planned for them.
But don't you think this is what happens when you run a tankless comp? And that you are susceptible to getting one-shotted by hit-scan characters, especially when they're boosted? It feels like Code7 needs to address this.
Yes.
I mean, if Cloud9's going to run boosted McCree, boosted Widow, and Reaver and Surefour aren't going to miss, they can keep doing tracers, which are pretty good against these characters in general, but they die immediately, even with the shields. And if you're going to run a tankless composition in this way, you can't.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's one of those things where initially teams weren't running as much of the Widows, and even the McCrees weren't playing at the level they are now, where, yeah, you got more value out of your tankless comps with Tracers 1-up, but I've always said this a lot too, is that yes, Tracer can be good at getting on Widow, but Widow, when played well, honestly can give Tracer a run for her money. And I don't know what you change in that case when the Widow is on point. I mean, short of, say, running your own offensive Widow and trying to snipe out the other Widow, but then that turns into a Widow war. And if your Widow is losing that war, you lose the game outright. So it's complicated when the other team is playing hit scan characters on that level.
Yeah, and we saw the Widow war a little bit on Gibraltar, and it seemed like Reaver won, and we even saw Grego go off by himself. So, I mean, Cloud9 has 2 very capable Widow players, and Surefour plays it as like a third or fourth character as well, that could go with these duels. Maybe we'll see something different now. We haven't seen Nepal all day. It is a King of the Hill map. It is a little more DM style. We've seen different comps on this. We've seen Torbjorn. We've seen... the orb comp, we've seen the tracers, and we've seen a standard thing. What are you expecting?
What am I expecting here? I don't know. I do think we will see the double tracers coming out from the Code7 side. I mean, they've got to feel confident about it, especially on King of the Hill. We've seen them run it on King of the Hill many times. It almost beat Envious, so we'll see if they stay on it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a switch up. I do think double tracer is one of the things that is pretty strong King of the Hill in general, perhaps more so than payload. So if they changed up, I'd be surprised. But this is also, they're facing tournament elimination. This is the point where if you have any tricks to pull out, any change-ups that you might think can change the course of your destiny, you pull them out as well.
And look at these lineups. I have to say, I really favor Cloud9. I understand DPS and doing as much damage as you can, and burst damage being really good. And if you can do enough burst damage, you can kill someone even with shields and healing, whatever, because you did 3 shots with Soldier and you hit the rocket, and then you have tracers getting around doing stuff and people die, right? And I get that, but on these King of the Hell maps, and you being able to control a central position, and even though Winston is nerfed and he's not as OP as he was back a month ago, he's still a good character. And when you have 2 of them, you can kind of do one shield after the other, and I really do favor Cloud9. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9, they're more so than that. I think Cloud9 really favors getting on the point early. Those tanks are going to let them take control of the point, even if they're not winning the fight, and that's going to add up over time as well. We've seen that time and time again from Cloud9. That being said, Triddle striking first blood on the Debit. Debit going down very quickly to the DPS here, so DPS-wise, Code7 making some stuff work here. 65 in their favor right now, as both teams just going off. This is King of the Hill. This is absolute pandemonium. We've seen Double Tracer praising this here, and Torque with the pick on Adams. So Code7 able to win this first skirmish at least a little bit. The point is capturable now. No one has gotten on it just yet, but things looking good for Code7 so far.
No, Code7 dominated the first fight. They killed Kai and they killed Debit within the first 10 seconds. The entire fight was over. They can't do anything without the tanks, and now Code7 has control. So far, DPS is winning over Shield.
Yep, so taking a look here, Cloud9, of course, not going to stay on their back for too long here, rushing back in, taking a look here. Reaver able to take out Firestorm. I think that wasn't even a Pulse Bomb taking him out, so good pick from Reaver. Reaver taking out Custa with his Pulse Bomb. There's Sure4 in the back, takes out Nicholas, so Cloud9 starting to turn this in their favor. Sure4's Pulse Bomb is up. He's chasing down Torque, will shoot him down in the back, and Cloud9, just like that, turning the tables, some great Tracer play, and I feel like this is going to be a very, very back and forth Nepal for us here, Slasher.
Yeah, Reaver and Sure4 just killed the whole team. So it really is Reaver and Sure4 versus Nicholas and Torque, and then we'll see what, crucial break-it-downs, and we'll see kind of the space for CTS battle.
Pulse Bomb coming out now from Sure4. Sure4 not connecting this, so he's getting back off. Meanwhile, Nicholas also hanging on to his Pulse Bomb. And if you don't like the words Pulse Bomb, you might want to now, because there's going to be a lot of Pulse Bombs. Double Sound Barrier coming out from both teams, effectively neutralizing out both teams, trading poke in the middle. Code7 coming in very deep onto the point. Devin and Kai though, double Winston getting double kills there. Trudel and Firestorm are down, and the momentum is in favor of Cloud9 here, off the power of Winston. So we see Nicholas still trying to brawl it out there, but Sure4 getting 2 extra kills and then helping mop it up, and is fact looking for extra kills in the very back. Take on Nicholas, almost takes him out as well. So now that ults are in play, I feel like the tanks are definitely doing a lot more work here.
Yeah, and we're going to see a switch come from Code7. They're going to go double Reaper instead of Soldier, which I think they should have did this even earlier in the game.
Yes.
I mean, of course, against Winston, this is what you do.
It's a little bit hard though, because Reaper can have issues dealing with the Tracer shenanigans at times, like Yankin. And what a great bomb from Sure4. Bomb in the house, takes out 3 people. So Sure4 making his presence known. Tracers are on top of him. He might go down here, but even if he dies, he already got great value off of that Pulse Bomb.
They did have a strong team fight though, 3-on-3 now left to try to capture the point.
Taking a look, Nicholas actually he's hanging a little bit far back, waiting for his health to regenerate off the health pack. Cloud9 though able to reestablish on top of the point, and he has a teleporter in his sights. I think he knows where it is. Teleporter is going to go down. This is going to help Code7 a lot if they go in here. Pulse Bomb does go down. 2 Pulse Bombs go down. Down goes Kai, but look at this, Sure4 and Reaver in the back doing work of their own. 3 kills for Cloud9, and momentum right now just not in Code7's favor. So defensive sound barrier is out, and Code7 going to get pushed back here again.
Yeah, and that's going to be
round 1 to Cloud9. So Cloud9 putting themselves on tournament point here. If they win the next round, they will be our GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly Grand Champions. And Finals Champions. Whatever permutation you want to take of it.
Code7 having some problems dealing with the Winstons. I think Reaper is the right call here. I don't expect them to change. Maybe only if Cloud9 does. We are seeing JKW go onto, and they're going to go back. They're going to go back to it. I guess they feel
they are going to go back.
Like it's gonna be. I think that they're a little hesitant now. I think they want to do Soldier, and what you should do is Reaper. Is what all
they're
the
splitting the difference right now. They have Trudel on the Soldier and JKW on the Reaper, so they're hoping that the one Reaper is enough and the Soldier is still okay. Because I think they want the Soldier for anti-tracer ability as well.
They do.
So they're trying to split the difference. We'll see if it's effective. Code7 getting onto the point. Cloud9 preferring the high ground. Cloud9, they taste victory in their grasp. They just need to win this round, and that'll be it. Both Winstons flying in. Both teams trading off kills. One of those Winstons very close to death. Doesn't go down just yet, though. Tracer fire everywhere. Torque able to take out D-Bet for first kill again. Nicholas takes out Kai, and this is looking very much like round 1 so far here, Slasher.
Yeah, Code7 with a good team fight, and they're able to take the first point.
JKW finishing off the 2 kills on Reaper, building up his Death Blossom. So, again, good stuff coming out from Code7 to start out this map, but do not be fooled that we saw round 1 come out the very same way. So, if Cloud9 were to come back in right now and retake the point, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, definitely very possible. They're actually going to make a little bit of a change. You got a Roadhog coming out instead now.
Interesting. So, taking a look at Sure4. Looking for the pulse bomb, is in the back end. Good poke in on JKW. JKW has to be careful. And look at this. This is a beautiful pulse bomb opportunity. Sure4 gonna blow up Trudel. Did a lot of damage to the others. And now he's coming in the back. Reaver with the follow-up. 2 kills now for Cloud9 as they move in. JKW in a lot of trouble here, is going to go down. Was able to take out Kaikai at the very least. Nicholas striking back with 2 kills of his own. Reaver, though, making it happen. Nicholas and Reaver fighting out on top of the point. This is craziness right now.
Oh, Nicholas with 2 big kills. I think they're going to keep the point. Reaver is alone.
Maybe Reaver, though, coming right back. Nicholas back in it. This is just back and forth on both ends. Cloud9, though, is going to take control of the point here. 53% for Code7. Code7 going to relinquish for now. They had good progress. Offensive sound barrier out. Defensive sound barrier out. Everyone is dropping the beat. Music, left, right, and center. Kaikai takes out the offensive teleporter, though. That's a big pick for him.
Yes.
Meanwhile, JKW, Death Blossom could be out any moment here as Code7 is struggling to retake control at this point.
And he does Death Blossom, but doesn't get anything. Kaikai is able to kill him too, and I think Cloud9 may have enough to take it.
Cloud9 definitely looking momentum in their favor, but there's still, Nicholas is still in. No, Nicholas not in. In fact, he was taken out. Custa was the last one remaining. So Code7 gonna get pushed back, and now Cloud9 finding their stride. 65% away from being our champions here in the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly. So they got to taste it now. They need to hold off maybe 2 more pushes to do it, Slasher, and we're going to see if Code7 can turn this around.
Another switch from D-Bet. He's going to go into Zarya now from Roadhog.
Oh, look at that. Nicholas able to get the teleporter out quickly. 1 is down for Cloud9. This is a great approach by Code7 as they move in. Pulse Bomb could be out any moment coming out from Nicholas. Pulse Bomb does come out, does not connect. Meanwhile, taking a look at Trudel. Trudel has people in his sights. Nicholas able to take out Adam anyways. And momentum very firmly in Code7's favor. Another Pulse Bomb goes out, does not connect. Pulse Bomb's out for both sides, but Code7 still maintaining strong, getting the attrition they need, and they are very strong on this point right now.
It's still going, still ticking for Cloud9, so they finally do get it, but Code7 had to use pretty much all their ults, and Cloud9 was still able to get 20 ticks while fighting on the point. So now that they're back to even, no one has ults.
So really, I think this is going to come down to the next big team
double
fight.
Zarya. We're seeing now double Zarya, no more Winston. This is probably to, the shield all day. I really thought we would see this more in general, but here's what's going to come down.
Yep, next up, big pulse bomb going to come up from Nicholas, and this is do or die time for Cloud9 on round number 2. They're moving in onto the point. Meanwhile, we have Nicholas in the back. He's looking for that pulse bomb pickoff. Gets absolutely destroyed by the Zarya. Zarya shield saving Adam and letting them move forward. 2 big kills for Cloud9 so far. Pulse bomb comes off. Going to take out Kaikai there. Both back and forth for both teams. Death Blossom coming out for JKW, and so far Code7 looking like they're going to hold on here, pushing Cloud9 back. And Slasher, we might be going to round number 3.
Yeah, I think we are. JKW finally getting a very good Death Blossom off, and they're going to cancel on. Here we go. Yeah, some nice kills at the end. Code7 was able to control the point. I think Cloud9. I do like the double Zarya. I wonder if they're going to keep it for.
So it all comes down to this right now. This is map number 3. Cloud9 trying to finish out the series 3-0. Code7 trying to remain in it, force a map number 4 by taking this map, making the series 2-1. It's all going to come down to this last round on Nepal, and let's just see what happens. Taking a look at the Cloud9 side, we got Debit on the Zarya. Actually, no, Debit switching off the Zarya. No more Zarya. So they were showing Zarya towards the end. Now they're switching off it. Honestly, I get it. Winston is very good here. Just his ult alone can knock people into a pit like no other.
Now, Reaver did select Farah for a good 10 seconds, and I think decided last minute to just go double Tracer. It's either double Tracer or nothing. They're going to win off the back.
Yep, Torque either got knocked off, fell off, or what, but that is a big loss for the Code7 side. Cloud9 now up a member. They are rushing forward. They're trying to take control. They will maybe get the first point as a result of this. We're going to see. Reaver is on top. Winston is on top. Their tanking situation here does let them get control of this. Now Code7 in the position of having to take this back.
Yeah, they won the first 2 team fights, first 2 maps. Now Cloud9 finally gets his chance here.
Taking a look here, Torque able to take out D-Bet. Code7 coming back in on the offense. Bomb goes off from Sure4, though, takes out 2 people. Sure4 on point those bombs. Offensive sound barrier coming out from Code7 as they try and take this point. I'm not sure if it's enough. Torque, though, going to take out Adam, so Torque making some things happen here on the point. Offensive teleport could be out for Firestorm soon as well. He can put it right in that cubby hole, and Code7 going to come right back and take control of the middle. So this is not going to be easy for Cloud9. Wow.
No, they're going to have to rely on their double Tracers. I don't see them switching I only see a little bit of changing going to go on throughout this map. I think they're going to keep going head on, and whoever comes out better.
Let the best mechanics win.
Yeah.
And take a look, Nicholas here on a very roundabout path. Interesting. He's going for this stealth pulse bomb. Meanwhile, Surefour able to get on the teleporter as we watch the journey of Nicholas as he comes in through the back. He's looking for this offensive sound barrier is out from Cloud9. Trudel, though, with the tech visor, not actually getting too much of his JKW with the tech visor, in fact. Getting chased back by Winston. Tech visor be Winston, not necessarily the greatest, as Cloud9 now is going to retake control of the point. Nicholas's venture perhaps not the greatest. He still has his pulse bomb, however, but good position from Cloud9 to get in there.
Yeah, there's just so many skirmishes. And fighting. Cloud9 is able to finally clean it up and have a good control. I wonder where they're trying to set up. It looks like the 200 health is a good area because there's tight doorways. I think Adam's going to try to probably set up some turrets around there. Yeah, and if you're able to control that health, does give you a pretty good advantage, especially for your DPS players.
Well, they have the 76s out, and oh no, Kai just gets immediately dunked by the Helix rocket of Trudel. This is going to be a big opening now for Code7 as they rush in. They are up a man. They want to go in. They have Tech Visor up. Trudel could pop it at any moment. Tracers are in the back. Who will get the next kill? If Code7 can get another kill, it's going to be a huge turnaround for them here as they get on top of the point. Nicholas able to take out D-Bet. 6v4 in favor of Code7. The pressure is on. They're trying to take control of this. Cloud9, though, at 82%, stalling this out for a while. They only need a little bit more to win this here, Slasher, so we'll see where the stands. Pulse Bomb going up from Nicholas is going to take out Grego. Takes out himself as well. Torque, meanwhile, going to get taken out by Reaver. Big pick by Reaver, 93% for Cloud9. They are very close to winning this tournament now. This is danger time for Code7. 2 more kills, 3 more kills for Cloud9. Off the back of Surefour is now in overtime. Will Code7 be able to get back in here? There is an overtime from Nicholas. Nicholas able to trigger overtime. Defensive sound bear is out. Here comes Code7. Code7 is coming in on the back. Primal Rage is out though. They're trying to keep everyone out. This is absolute desperation and pandemonium. Look at Cloud9, they're trying to secure their victory. They taste it right now, but the Tracers are still in. Still, kill feed very much in favor of Cloud9. Everyone from Code7 is getting killed. They're running onto a point. They don't, and there it is. Cloud9 will take it. 3-0 over Code7. But man, Code7 did not make it easy on them at all here today, Slasher.
No, that was some great play by Reaver. Yeah, at the end, I think he got a triple kill. He saved the point. They were losing that team fight at the end. Code7 got 2 picks in the beginning, made it 6-on-4. I thought they were going to regain control of the point to bring it forward, and no, Reaver was able to stay on that point, able to get 3 picks, able to allow Kai and Debit to get back and jump, and once the monkeys are back, create some space, create shields, it was over. So, really for me, throughout these games, Torque and Nicholas played great on their Tracers. A ton of great ult usage, great flanking, a lot of damage, but Surefour and Reaver just played better. And they were better in general in Tracers, and the different picks that they were able to make with Reaver on Widow, especially in Game 2 and Game 1, a big effect on their wins today.
Definitely. I mean, we saw great stuff out of Surefour and Reaver all day. Reaver is playing on a level. I mean, we've seen him play really well in the past, but I felt like he was on an even higher level today than times I remember him. He was just playing completely great. So we're going to see if we can get a member of Cloud9 in for an interview here. Although I've heard people might be taking off early for Easter. We'll see. So I'm going to message Kai. We had him on last time. Kai, man, very precise and just quick to the point, but definitely gave us a lot of good information last time we had him on when Cloud9 won the NA Weekly Cup. So I'm going to see if we can get him on here. This is the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup. I'm ZP, joined by Slasher filling in for Hexagrams, who, as you can tell by the tombstone, is Rip. We'll be back in just a moment as we try and bring you the winner's interview, so stay tuned.